Hi, welcome to Gently Being. Today I'd like to introduce you to tea and mystics. I decided to start another channel that just focuses on some of the books that I'm reading that tend to focus more on esoteric knowledge, religious studies, spiritual studies, and I just share quick reviews of the books and also the teas that I am drinking, hence the title Tea and Mystics. If this sounds like something you'd be interested in, I'm going to link to the channel below so you can go to it or simply search Tea and Mystics. And here is an episode that I recently made. Enjoy! Hi, welcome to Tea and Mystics. Today I'll be discussing the book Buddhist Magic while sipping on some fluffy panda tea from Par Avignon. I was really excited when I heard about this book because when I was in university, I was lucky enough to take some Buddhism courses, and my professors were really wonderful at showing the variety of thought and ritual and experience within Buddhism as a tradition. But later I took some courses that were more focused in on mindfulness, and especially this secular mindfulness movement that's in the West. And I was a little disheartened to hear some of the approaches that were happening from the people teaching the courses, but also some of the participants who were so steadfast in believing that their understanding of mindfulness and Buddhism was the right understanding, and that it all boiled down to just a certain school of thought. And they were really taking away the variety, the tradition, and some of the wisdom from Buddhism. So I was really delighted to see a book that was just, giving a bit of a look at Buddhist magic, and within that some Buddhist ritual since the beginning of the text that they can find that have to do with Buddhism. Part of what's wonderful about this book is it's really working to break that notion that there was ever some sort of one pure Buddhism that you can find. The texts are varied and show the use of ritual in even this idea of magic within the very earliest texts. It's very similar how within the Christian tradition, sometimes there's this idea that there's a one pure Christianity, but we know, and scholars find more each day to show that it was quite varied, the interpretations of Christianity since the start. So I think that is one really important message, is to allow the traditions to be brought to light and to be known more, and to take some of that judgment away of some of the Western Buddhist approaches who think that they know the right way, and that can be really damaging, I think, because it takes away from the beautiful, rich culture and heritage of the variety of countries that have been following Buddhism for centuries. One of the beautiful things the book does is show how these approaches to magic and ritual unite cultures all around the world, how there's similarities that can be found in different traditions, and he'll show some of that illustrated within this text. And I really enjoyed that, and shows how magic is a shared cultural heritage of the world. I will say he also provides a working definition that he uses for the term magic and how it's applied to the text that he comes across. And it's specifically looking at a very old text that he has studied that shares various Buddhist spells and rituals within this text. The author himself works for the archives in the British Library, so he has a very unique position at being able to have access to these ancient texts and to be able to interpret them and thus share some of them within this book. So if you have any interest in just magic in general and the history of magic and the history of Buddhism, I'd really recommend this book. It's not too long if you're just looking for something quick to read, but I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I think the author did an amazing job at just, providing that little introduction into some of the ideas that have to do around the history of Buddhism and ritual and magic. So definitely check out Buddhist Magic. Today I am sipping on some Fluffy Panda tea, which is by Par Avillon, and it's a jasmine tea with lychee. And I'm really enjoying it. It has a bit of a sweet flavor to it that's a bit of a pick-me-up because I'm, just getting close to the afternoon, so it's a little bit to have a nice pick-me-up. And like any sort of jasmine tea, I made sure that the water wasn't too hot and I don't steep it too long so that you don't get the bitter quality because when you sort of burn the jasmine. But even just the smell kind of makes me smile, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I've never had Par Avillon tea before, so this is my introduction to it, and I do enjoy this one. I did partially pick it up because I liked the name Fluffy Panda and the design on the container, but I will say that I actually find these containers a little difficult to open, and the way that the sticker was placed on the container isn't the best. It kind of has it get stuck and sort of takes away from the design when it's sort of messy like that on the top. So I was just like a little disappointed about that, but that's maybe just me being picky. But the tea itself I am definitely enjoying on this gray and windy mid-morning, early afternoon today. Thanks so much for tuning in to Tea and Mystics. Cheers!